When did your something is very wrong here feeling turned out to be true? I was 14 when this substitute teacher showed up at our school, and I immediately knew something was off about him. His name was Mr. K, and he looked way too young to be a teacher, maybe 25 tops. But he wasn't like the usual subs who just put on movies and fell asleep. This guy was sharp, really sharp. First day he walks into our English class and memorizes everyone's name in like 10 minutes. By the second period he's playing chess with the smart kids during lunch and beating them. By day 3 he's cracking jokes in Spanish with the exchange students and somehow predicting exactly what questions would be on our pop quiz better than Mrs. Henderson ever could. All my friends thought he was the coolest teacher ever, but something about him made my skin crawl. I couldn't put my finger on it at first. He was friendly enough, always smiling, always asking us about our interests and hobbies. Maybe that was the problem. He was too interested, like when he asked me what books I liked during study hall. Normal teacher question, right? But then he said something that made my blood freeze. He quoted word for word this post I had written in this private online book forum about my favorite fantasy series. Not just the topic, the exact words I used. I laughed it off thinking maybe it was some weird coincidence. But then he looked right at me and said, "Did you delete that story you were working on? The one about the dragon? It was really good. I had posted a short story on that same forum 3 months ago, then deleted it because I thought it sucked. The forum was private. You needed an invitation to join. There was no way he could have seen it unless he was specifically looking for it." The next day he did it again with my friend Ava. Asked her about this poem she posted on her private Instagram account. The one with like 12 followers that was locked down tighter than Fort Knox. "You follow my Finsta?" she asked him, looking completely confused. He just smiled that creepy smile and said, "I'm good at finding things." That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about how he seemed to know things about all of us that he shouldn't know, so I decided to test him. I created a fake email account and sent myself a message pretending to be him, just to see what would happen. The reply came back in under 5 minutes. "Nice try, Liam." I almost threw my phone across the room. How did he know it was me? I hadn't used my real name on the fake account. I hadn't mentioned anything that would give me away, but somehow he knew. I was officially terrified. The next morning I went straight to Principal Davis and told him everything. About the forum posts, about Ava's private account, about the email test. He listened politely, but I could tell he wasn't buying it. Mr. K passed all his background checks, Liam. He has excellent references from 3 other districts. You're probably just imagining things, but I wasn't imagining anything. I knew what I heard, so I went to Mrs. Sullivan, the school counselor. She seemed more concerned than the principal, promised she would look into it and asked me not to say anything to other students until she could figure out what was going on. The next day, Mr. K was gone. Just like that. Empty classroom. No explanation. When kids asked where he went, the office just said he had a family emergency and wouldn't be coming back. But I knew better, and 2 weeks later, Mrs. Sullivan called me down to her office to tell me the real story. Mr. K wasn't a licensed teacher. His real name was Kevin Anderson, and he worked for some sketchy company that developed artificial intelligence software, the kind that predicts human behavior. He had been using fake substitute credentials to get into schools and study kids in their natural environment. He had been hacking into our social media accounts, reading our private messages, taking screenshots of everything we posted, even the stuff we deleted. He was feeding all of our personal information into some kind of machine learning algorithm that was supposed to predict how teenagers would react to different situations. The company he worked for had contracts with advertising agencies and social media platforms. They were basically using us as lab rats to figure out how to manipulate kids into buying stuff or clicking on things or whatever. Mrs. Sullivan said they found terabytes of data on his laptop, photos of students, private conversations, even video recordings he had taken secretly during classes. The FBI got involved because what he did violated about 15 different privacy laws. The whole thing blew up into this massive scandal. Parents sued the school district for millions of dollars. The company he worked for got shut down. Kevin got 5 years in federal prison for identity theft and violations of children's privacy rights.